Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Put an end to a state or an activity. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Give up or retire from a position. Go away or leave. Turn away from. Give up. Put an end to a state or an activity. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. Cease is a noun only in the phrase, without cease, end. Put an end to a state or an activity. Prevent completion. Come to or be at an end. The support from our sponsoring agency will discontinue after March 31st. Leave a job, post, or position voluntarily. Part with a possession or right. Put an end to a state or an activity. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Give up or agree to forego to the power or possession of another. Stop consuming. Give up alcohol. Stop maintaining or insisting on, of ideas or claims. Both sides have to give up some claims in these negotiations. Allow the other, baseball team to score. Give up a run. Give up with the intent of never claiming again. Relinquish possession or control over. Give up what is not strictly needed. Lose, s.th. Or lose the right to, s.th. by some error, offense, or crime. Put an end to a state or an activity. Dismiss, usually for economic reasons. Put an end to a state or an activity. An obstruction in a pipe or tube. The act of stopping something. The third baseman made some remarkable stops. Prevent completion. Stop the project. The state of inactivity following an interruption. He spent the entire stop in his seat. Stop from happening or developing. Render unsuitable for passage. Stop the busy road. A restraint that checks the motion of something. He used a book as a stop to hold the door open. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. Your rights stop where you infringe upon the rights of other. Stop and wait, as if awaiting further instructions or developments. Interrupt a trip. We stopped at Aunt Mary's house. Seize on its way. A mechanical device in a camera that controls size of aperture of the lens. A consonant produced by stopping the flow of air at some point and suddenly releasing it. His stop consonants are too aspirated. Come to a halt, stop moving. The car stopped. The event of something ending. It came to a stop at the bottom of the hill. A brief stay in the course of a journey. They made a stopover to visit their friends. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. In England they call a period a stop. Hold back, as of a danger or an enemy. Check the expansion or influence of. A spot where something halts or pauses. His next stop is Atlanta. Because to stop. Stop the car. Music. A knob on an organ that is pulled to change the sound quality from the organ pipes. The organist pulled out all the stops. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Leave school or an educational program prematurely. Many students drop out because they are not prepared for our challenging program. Withdraw from established society, especially because of disillusion with conventional values. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. To insert between other elements. Add as an extra or as a gratuity. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Give up or retire from a position. The Secretary of the Navy will leave office next month. Leave, a job, post, or position, voluntarily. The chairman resigned when he was found to have misappropriated funds. Part with a possession or right. Resign a claim to the throne. Give up or retire from a position. The chairman resigned over the financial scandal. Accept as inevitable. He resigned himself to his fate. Give up or retire from a position. Reduce the level or intensity or size or scope of. Move away from a place into another direction. The train departs at noon. Remove oneself from an association with or participation in. Wander from a direct or straight course. Go away or leave. Leave. Be at variance with. Be out of line with. Go away or leave. Do without or cease to hold or adhere to. Turn away from. Give up. I am forswearing women forever. Part with a possession or right. I am relinquishing my bedroom to the long-term house guest. Do without or cease to hold or adhere to. Relinquish the old ideas. Release, as from one's grip. Relinquish your grip on the rope, you won't fall. Turn away from. Give up. Give up, such as power, as of monarchs and emperors, or duties and obligations. Leave, a job, post, or position, voluntarily. Cast off. She renounced her husband. Turn away from. Give up. Leave unchanged or undisturbed or refrain from taking. Leave it as is. Remove oneself from an association with or participation in. She wants to leave. Leave behind unintentionally. Produce as a result or residue. Transmit, knowledge or skills. Leave your name and address here. Put into the care or protection of someone. Leave your child in the nurse's care. Move out of or depart from. Leave the room. The period of time during which you were absent from work or duty. A 10 days leave to visit his mother. Be survived by after one's death. The act of departing politely. He took his leave. Go away from a place. At what time does your train leave? Leave or give by will after one's death. Make a possibility or provide opportunity for, permit to be attainable or cause to remain. This leaves no room for improvement. Act or be so as to become in a specified state. Go and leave behind, either intentionally or by neglect or forgetfulness. Have left or have as a remainder. 19 minus 8 leaves 11. Permission to do something. She was granted leave to speak. Remove oneself from an association with or participation in. Move away from a place into another direction. Become invisible or unnoticeable. Get lost, as without warning or explanation. Go away from a place. Come out of. Go away from a place. A feeling of extreme emotional intensity. Leave behind empty. Move out of. Stop maintaining or insisting on, of ideas or claims. He abandoned the thought of asking for her hand in marriage. Leave someone who needs or counts on you. Leave in the lurch. The trait of lacking restraint or control. Reckless freedom from inhibition or worry. She danced with abandon. Give up with the intent of never claiming again. Forsake, leave behind. We abandoned the old car in the empty parking lot. Break from a meeting or gathering. Remove something concrete, as by lifting, pushing, or taking off, or remove something abstract. This machine withdraws heat from the environment. Cause to be returned. Lose interest. Retire gracefully. Pull back or move away or backward. Keep away from others. Take back what one has said. Make a retreat from an earlier commitment or activity. Withdraw from active participation. Release from something that holds fast, connects, or entangles. Remove, a commodity, from a supply source. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known, of news. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a hole. Break a branch from a tree. Make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out. This prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change directions suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. Pierce or penetrate. Render inoperable or ineffective. Scatter or part. Separate from a clinch, in boxing. The occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. Vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. Stop doing what one is doing. Stop doing what one is doing. At midnight, the student decided to call it quits and closed his books. Erect or decumbent Old World perennial with axillary clusters of rosy purple flowers, introduced in United States. A solid food prepared from the pressed curd of milk. Used in the imperative, get away, or stop it. Wind onto a cheese. Cheese the yarn. Stem the flow of. Isolate or separate. Block off the passage through.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.